I'm today at Boca Chica State Beach, which is out by Huntington Beach in Southern California. Maybe I pronounced that wrong, but hey, I did my best. And today I'm taking a break. And I normally don't take this kind of a break, as you can see behind me, maybe, the ocean. And we're just kind of hanging out with my daughter, son-in-law, grandkids, and Jenna's sister, her side of the family, and just decided to take a little break. Now, of course, you guys know me. All that means is hands off the product. I'm still working the business through my app on the phone. And so I have the gimbal out here. Thought it's a great day, 80 degrees. Thought I'd make a little video for you guys. And I just want to talk about some things, but I'm far removed from the product, but not far removed from the business. And I think it depends on kind of your aspect and how involved you are in the business. I really think the more involved you are in your business, the more success you're going to have, unless you have very, very competent people that can pick up the slack when you're not around. But I don't have that. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys about the importance of knowing your product knowledge. We don't talk about this a lot on this channel. The reason is I can't really say that I have a lot of product knowledge, and that's because I sell a whole lot of everything, right? I do have items that I gravitate to because I do have familiarity with those items. And it's going to kind of sound strange from someone like me who sells everything, but I'm a firm believer that the optimal way to resell is to sell within a niche. And that's because you're going to, if you're focused on a couple different SKUs or a couple different types of items, you're going to become very proficient in understanding. Being able to answer customer questions, I think, is huge. And being able to help problem solve if a buyer buys your item and just needs some help with it. I've had so many buyers reach out on stuff that I have no idea, right? I'm only as good as maybe the Amazon bullets that I use in my listings. But if they're having any issues with some of these products they're buying from me, I can't really help too much. It's happened so many times, and it's somewhat frustrating. But it's part of the nature of the business. Now, I think it's just boils down to one thing: your opportunities. Do you have the opportunity to buy one or two SKUs from, 2 or 3 different sources? I would never have anyone go out on a limb and buy product from one source only and then niche down that way, because if that particular source goes away, you're back to being an everything seller. You're no longer a niche seller because you can't get that stuff anymore. And I was thinking about this. What's the one thing in reselling that you would change? The out of control stuff, the stuff that's within your control, you can change that now. What's the one thing that you can change? Now, I think a lot of people would initially say they would get rid of all scammers, right? Bad buyers, because we don't like dealing with those people. But if you think about it, bad buyers only represent, 5%? You're talking about bad returns, scammers, and all other bad buyers? If 5%. Maybe that's too high, 2%. So That's a knee-jerk reaction answer that a lot of people would give to that question. But to me, if you really think about it, I think most people would benefit from having a solid, consistent sources. And there's some people out there, I'd say maybe 5 to 10% of the community has locked up really good sourcing. That's not their problem. Now, for me, an everything seller, I've locked up good sourcing to maintain my everything seller status, knowing that optimally, I still think that a niche seller is the best way to go because of the product knowledge, because of the experience you gain. You could take one random product that you have no experience with, just focus on reselling that item, provided you can get it, and I'd say within 6 months, you'd have the level of product knowledge that any expert or anybody working at these stores, like a brick and mortar store, like a Best Buy would have, right? Because you're touching the item, you're testing the item, if you're dealing with clothing, folding the item, you know the difference in quality for that item as compared to other items. Okay, and that's the thing. You can get an item, you can avoid problematic returns because you can identify an issue with the item, whereas something that you're not familiar with, it'll get past you. It happens to me all the time. I deal with a lot of returns because I just don't know what I'm really dealing with. Like when I test the machine or test the device, I can only do basic, very, very basic tests, and some things get past me, and I take the return. That's a negative experience for the buyer and for me. So optimally, you should be striving to find a source, multiple sources, that's going to get you a profitable item. Doesn't matter what it is. Toilet seats for all we care. Knowing the market, that's another thing. If you have the product knowledge, you're going to be an expert in the market. You're going to know when the market's changing on an item. I can tell you this: toilet seats, a year ago, we're selling at about, for me, $60-70 plus shipping. Okay. Now, it's more like 40 or 50, including shipping. Okay. I have a couple of SKUs. I've got the toilet seats that are selling for 40-something bucks plus shipping, like $20. Those are the better colorways. Some of the ones that you guys know I've been having problems with, I had to lower it down to $22 plus shipping, or $59.99 free shipping, and then my coupon and my store markdown sales take effect. Okay, so go figure on that one. Had I known or realized, and I've been selling these like within a niche, and I don't sell these within a niche, I pick them up whenever I can, I might have had a better pulse or feel as to maybe buying these toilet seats wasn't yet currently a good idea. Okay, I'm still selling them, don't get me wrong, but nowhere near the price point that I'd like to be in. So product knowledge is huge, guys. It is huge, but when you're an everything seller, you just got to deal with it. The priority is getting good stuff at a good price that you can sell 4, 5 plus X profit, and it shouldn't matter to you what it is. And for those of you out there who are struggling within your niche, I would say to you, this is what I'm saying to you. It almost feels like, for those of you who are stuck within a niche that's not making money, not making sales, you are more concerned about selling that item within your niche than selling something that's going to make you money, because it's comfortable. You know the product. The product knowledge has you hooked. The enjoyment of the product has you hooked. And I get it. I understand it. That's optimal. But if you're ignoring the real reason why we do this, now for some of you it's a hobby and you don't care how much you make, keep doing that. But if you're really trying to make money, I think for some of us out there, maybe the answer is to become an everything seller to make that money, keeping your eye on the market of the things that you enjoy selling. When the market comes back, by all means. Or create a second store where you're selling the stuff you love or you know. And that main store that's established, load that up with stuff that's going to sell, even if you care for it or not. Who cares? Because these are all widgets at the end of the day. These are not going to remain in your possession. And the idea is to get it, list it, move it. Get it, list it, move it, right? You're not keeping this. We're not opening it up in a museum, right? There's things outside of eBay I enjoy, right? But I'm not, when I come across them and I know that they have value, I'm not going to ignore the fact that there's value in it. So, little video I've decided to put out today. Have you enjoy my little stroll along the beach here. And just know, I'm still thinking about the business, still working the business, even though I'm away from the business. And, you know, some might say that's not healthy. It's what I enjoy doing. So do me a favor, if you enjoyed this video I put out, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell just in case you want to be notified when I go live, or I'll do a lot of pop-up lives, or when I make a video like this. Guys, product knowledge is pretty important, and I think you don't have to have it to be successful on eBay. I'm not trying to say that, but it's optimal. But figuring out where you're at in this equation, whether or not niching down is something that you're going to be able to do to obtain that product knowledge, is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day. We'll talk to you very soon.